Salisbury, my lords, ladies and gentlemen.
Sir Winston Churchill to address you.
We will certainly seek opportunities in both houses to present to them the case as we see it and to invite their approval of what we have done. I'm very glad that we are a party met together on a party occasion, and we have to fight as a party against those who oppose us and assail us. But faction is not our aim. Party triumphs are not our goal. We think it a high honor to serve the British people and the worldwide Commonwealth and Empire of which they are the center. We are sure of our cause, and not without some satisfaction at our performances. Let me now repeat what I said then, that we have no intention of plunging the nation into electioneering strife this year. And indeed, so far as my immediate knowledge is concerned, that applies to next year too. We have to do our duty. That is what is expected of us. We have to do our work, our job. We have to do it, or try to do it, with all our life and strength. And we seek to be judged by deeds, not words. We claim the time necessary to convince our fellow countrymen that the progressive conservatism of Tory democracy has an honourable part to play in the history of our native land, and will play that part during a period when difficulties are many and resources strained and danger broods none too far away. Our conservative principles are well known, and Lord Salisbury, in his very kindly speech opening our proceedings, has touched upon them broadly. We stand for the free and flexible working of the laws of supply and demand. We stand for compassion and aid to those who, whether through age, illness, or misfortune, cannot keep pace with the march of society. We stand for the restoration of buying and selling between individual importers and exporters in different countries, instead of the clumsy bargainings of one state against another, biased by politics and national feelings, as these must necessarily be. We have made great advances in restoring this method of active, nimble, multiple private trading, which should be allowed to flourish so long as the necessary laws against the abuses of monopoly are vigilantly enforced. The attitude of the opposition here at home is remarkable. They say there ought to be a debate in Parliament. Well, what is Parliament for if it is not to discuss such matters and to make sure that the freedom, prosperity and happiness of a British colony is effectively preserved? Sure that the freedom, prosperity and happiness of a British colony is effectively preserved. Now I come to the vexed and formidable sphere of foreign affairs. And we all rejoice to see Mr. Eden recovered and able to bring his unrivaled experience and knowledge to bear upon the problem which haunts all our minds, namely finding a secure foundation for world peace. I too have thought a great deal about this overpowering problem which hangs so heavy on the daily lives of every one of us. Majority of all the peoples, wherever they may dwell, desire above all things to earn their daily bread in peace. To establish conditions under which they can do this and to provide deterrence against aggression are the duties confided by the heart's desire of mankind to the United Nations. The Western allies put together. It would indeed be an act of unwisdom to weaken our efforts to build up a Western defense. It would be madness to make our heavily burdened island take up an attitude which, if not hostile, was at any rate unsympathetic, both to the United States and to the new Germany which Dr. Adenauer is building. And yet all the time for us to remain bound by the treaties which the socialists have made to defend friendly European powers who are incapable of maintaining themselves alone. I'm sure that the decisions taken by the socialist government, which were supported by us at the time, and are now being carried forward steadfastly and soberly by Her Majesty's government, constitute the best chance, and I think it a good chance, of getting through this awful period of anxiety without a world catastrophe. We, at any rate, are going to adhere faithfully to them and do our utmost to promote the formation of the European army with a strong contingent of Germans in it. Asked to very little, I held out no glittering or exciting hopes about Russia. I thought that friendly, informal, personal talks between the leading figures in the countries mainly involved might do good and could not easily do much harm, and that one good thing might lead to another, as I just said. This humble, modest plan, announced as the policy of Her Majesty's government, raised a considerable stir all over the place. And though we have not yet been able to persuade our trusted allies to adopt it in the form I suggested, no one can say that it is dead. Personally, about myself, if I stay on for the time being, bearing the burden at my age, it is not because of love for power or office. I have had an ample share of both. If I stay, it is because I have a feeling that I may, through things that have happened, have an influence on what I care about above all else, the building of a sure and lasting peace. Go forward together with courage and composure, with respect.